The name of the new album is Dark Horse. It was sort of a phrase that just kept coming out while we were trying to think of a name. It was just popping up all over the place. Within the span of about a week, it was said to us probably 6, 7 times. And, you know, somebody finally just said, what about that for a title, you know, for the album? And we liked it, you know. Right away we thought of The Underdog, and that was cool, you know. It made us sort of think of ourselves in terms of most underdogs have to fight just a little bit harder, work a little bit harder to stay in the game.
Nobody wants to be the last one there, but everyone wants to be like someone cares, someone to love with my life in their hands. There's gotta be somebody for me to like that. Nobody wants to go it on their own, and everyone wants to know they're not alone. But somebody else that feels the same somewhere. There's gotta be somebody for me out there.
Well, we hadn't worked with a producer in a while, and I guess the dream producer for us was Mutt Lange. And so if we were going to turn over the keys to the studio and let someone else sit in the captain's chair, he was definitely going to be the man. And when we found out that he was interested in working with us, this is like a dream come true. We went over to Switzerland, where his studio is, and we worked there for a couple of weeks, just working on songs, you know, just kind of hashing out some ideas. And then after about 2.5 weeks, we had probably like 3.5, possibly 4 really strong ideas. And then we came back to Vancouver, and Mutt moved into my place, and we started recording there. And about 4.5 months later, we were sitting in a pretty good position. The album is just, it's got everything, you know. We've got the same thing that we try to do with every record is got to get some melodic stuff in there, and you've got to get some heavy stuff in there, and really just balance everything out. We've got a track at the end. We always try to take one track and stick it at the end of the CD that's not typically Nickelback. You know, on the last album, All the Right Reasons, that would have been Rockstar. You know, until the world heard what that sounded like, they never would have thought that Nickelback would ever, you know, be the ones doing that type of thing. And then again with this one, you know, some fun song that we would never normally do that's got like pretty much a country vibe to it, called This Afternoon.
Just sitting around, hanging out this afternoon.
These days, what we do now is we really come up with it in the studio and then try to reproduce it live. And like when we started off, it wasn't like that at all. You know, we had these songs that went over really well live, and then when we went to record them, it was kind of like, well, these aren't that good. You know, it's just like
pretty bare, yeah. It turned into kind of this. It's like a songwriting process now. Every time we're in the studio, it's like every album is about the song and about making that strong. Yeah, and like you said, then trying to actually piece it together so that we can do it and pull it off live. That seems to be our angle these days.
I usually just come in with an idea. We always just find it works easier that way. If the 4 of us get in a room and actually just start jamming, it typically does one of these. It goes off in so many different directions so fast. But if someone says, well, I've got a riff, or I've got a chorus idea, you know, or even if I've just got a verse or something that we can start working on, it just seems to move a lot smoother that way. So if you've got a starting point, then everyone can go, oh, I see sort of the direction this train is going.
I'm through standing in line, the clubs will never get in. It's like bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. I want a brand new house on an episode of Crims, and I'm bathroom.
Trying to peg a Nickelback fan is almost impossible.
It used to be a lot easier. Yeah, it's spread out a lot over the years. In the beginning, we were that 18 to 29-year-old male thing. That was a really great start. Since then, it's really branched out, and we're all over the map now. You know, from little kids to older kids.
Yeah, it started out kind of with like the sound and the energy, of a live band. I mean, that was us. We were young and going out there and trying to tear it up live every night. And that was the thing. We were just a live band, and now it's kind of extended to, you know, trying to keep that energy, but, you know, making something that's like a song that's kind of, it can be accepted by, you know, anybody that can relate to that topic. So that's the combination of the actual subject matter, the melody, and the energy you can kind of get across with it. So that's kind of where it's kind of all of a sudden splayed out like this to, like you're saying, like we've had people that are 50, 60, like huge fans that you wouldn't necessarily know it, and you know, it's like a 5-year-old listens to it too. So.
This is the first time that we're actually going to employ someone to come and design the stage for us, because up until now it's just been us. You know, when we first got to the point where it was like, okay guys, we're going to be doing arenas and you guys can do whatever you want to do. What, you know, we're like, okay, we want to blow up everything. we want like 20, 30-foot columns of flame shooting out of the stage. We want just explosions everywhere. We just like, and we tried to incorporate all of the things that we loved with all the bands that we went and saw. Like, well, we want this, and you know, we've just sort of been doing it ourselves. And now it seems like we've gotten to the point where we want to see what someone else can bring in, you know, and have someone else go, okay, let me see if I can help you capture the vision of the band and help you create more of an experience for the people coming to the show.
Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Yup.